Okay, welcome everybody. Turn off the music. Make sure you guys can hear me. Hello. Hi, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope everything sounds great. Hi, Cecilia. I'm so glad you're here. Hello. Hey, Zachy and Emily from Chile, Alabama. We're coming to you live from South Haven, Michigan with 6 inches of snow on the ground and feeling very festive. Which I will take any bit of festiveness that I feel lately, because this Christmas is the second one without my mom, and darn, it's hard. So if you're missing a loved one or things are not like they normally are, I just want to send a big hug to you and let you know that it's okay to have space for both joy and sadness during the holidays, that we are very complex creatures, and that's part of life and loving and caring. And so for all those beautiful, sensitive hearts, all my kindred spirits out there, just want to wish you all the little bits of peace and joy you can find during this season. Oh, big hugs to you, Zachy. I'm not sure if that's your real name, but your nickname. Hi, Cassandra. All right, so feeling festive, and someone had asked me about an older project that I did for the Great Bead Extravaganza, which were wire oak leaves. And when the big Facebook purge happened, I thought I had that video on YouTube, but I didn't. And so I'm going to show you how to do these. Just lost my train of thought. How to do the holly leaves, but also at the end I will show you really quickly how to do the oak leaves, which is just a very slight variation. And we're also going to I'll show you how to turn them into scarf or sweater pins, because 'tis the season. And both of these will make really great gifts, or just if you're feeling festive and want to wear something during the holidays. You can also just use the same techniques to do any leaf shape for any time of season or year. So let's get to the good stuff. Thank you guys for being here. We are going to have a $30 gift certificate drawing at the end, so stick around. Not only will you get the good stuff, but you might win a prize. Okay, so these are what we're going to be making today. These are my holly leaves. This is the one with the scarf pin. And then these are the two pendants. And of course, we're going to be humblifying them with some humble beads and some little dangles and various snippets. But let's first get into the wire making. And we're going to keep things really simple. One wire, 18 gauge. You can use any type of wire that you would like for this. I'm going to use raw copper. And then I also used, this one was with the 18 gauge twisted wire, and I'm going to do the pin. I'm going to show you with the twisted wire how to make the pin. So for the pendant, you're going to need 12 inches. And you'll probably have a little you'll cut off. You probably need like 10, but I'm just going to be generous and 12 because I don't want to be short. Hi everyone, welcome for joining. If you could hit the like button if you'd like to share this video, that always helps out a lot. Okay, so I have my 18 gauge, 12 inches of wire, and I'm going to start by folding it in half. And I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to pinch the end here. Let me flatten this out just a little. And this is how we're going to get those. Let me move my microphone off of my table, or my little stand. Zooming in, zooming out. Okay, let me remove my banner. Okay, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is weave bent the wire in half. It was 12 inches of 18 gauge wire. And now we're going to pinch the end here nice and tight. I need to put this up just a little bit. I need to be able to see it. I couldn't see it under the camera. Okay, I'm pinching that together nice and tight. Now you can use bail making pliers. If you don't have bail making pliers, a pencil or a marker will do just fine. So I'm going to first show you with the bail making pliers, and then I'll show you with the other side with the pencil. Or if you have a little doll that's this size. Hi, kitty. Okay. So I'm going to grab onto the end here and wrap it around the big side of the bail. And that's going to be the first part of my leaf. I'm going to use the pencil for the other side for those of you who don't have the bail making pliers. And so here is the bottom of our leaf. And now I'm going to go a little bit in line, like if I was to pretend there was a straight line drawn right here. That's where I want my end of this this row to go. So it's not going to be hanging down further than the bottom. It's going to be a little bit up from there. And this again, I'm going to turn the wire so that it's squeezed in. So the two wires are right next to each other. And when you pinch it, if it flips over, just straighten it out with your pliers. That's no biggie. Okay, I'm going to just fold this out of the way. And I'm going to flip this over because it's a little easier for me to do everything on the right side so that I'm not trying to do things on the left and right. Did I do a subconscious sound effect? I saw the line being drawn in my head, so yeah. Okay, so again, putting the two wires right next to each other, like that, and then we're going to pinch the end here. And I'm just going to pull this up so it's both the wires are straight up. And now we're going to repeat the same big half loop in the middle there. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. At this point, there's really no front or back. There's not a front or back until we do the bail. Sorry about that. Kathy, the orders have shipped. Email me at humblebeads@gmail.com and I will see what's going on. Okay, now this next one, I'm going to go a little bit past the first one. So I want this next row of little spiky portions of the leaf to be out further. And exactly the same process for each of the little lobes that we're making here. I don't know what they're really called, but we'll call them lobes. And I'm just going to flip that up for now so that it's out of the way. Turn it over. And we want to have this one go past that first one. So if we're seeing that little line, that invisible, nope, there we go. His hand tried to do a little noise. Yep, that's the line noise. Okay. Oh, this one maybe just... All right, I'm going to push those two together. And I want to get the ends pinched as tight as I can. I may make that a little too bigger than I wanted to, but I'm not going to sweat it. This one may just be a little wider than I wanted. Okay, so doing the same thing with the bail pliers, or if you have a pencil. You can use a round pencil or a skinny marker. They all work the same, just something that's like, I think this is about 5/8 inch wide. Okay. This one's going to be about the same size as the previous one. So we're doing small, big, big, and then a little one on top. So a small one at the end, two big ones in the middle, and then a little one at the top. That's going to be our leaf shape. Okay, turning that up so it's not in the way. Flipping over. So having this go past the, this is parallel, straight up from the wire, and I just kind of angle it. Imagine it angled a little bit. It's like 1/8 of an inch longer on those 2 second ones. My wire flipped when I did that. You just twist it back. No problem. Okay, put those two up, and now we're going to do the little pieces on the end, and this is going to be our small top leaves that we're going to do. And at this point, the wire's really malleable, and you can adjust or fix things as you need it. Megan, wire's cheap. Just start over. That's I don't know what size bale this is. I know this is like 5/8 inch right here, but these were just from Vintage, and they were bale making pliers. I don't have any other information about that, but it's like about the size of a pencil. So I don't know if that will help. I think it's about 5/8 of an inch wide. 5/8 or 3/8. Now I have to check. Oh, sorry, 3/8 of an inch. So this is 3/8 of an inch wide. Okay, now our last leaf we're going to make shorter than the previous one. This is the top leaf, and it's a little bit shorter. So I'm going to fold that over and then pinch that closed nice and tight. And then I'm just going to pull that up so that it's out of the way. We're going to flip it over and do the same leaf on the other side, or the same shape. It's all one leaf, the same little lobe. I don't know if that's what they're called. I think that's what they're called on oak leaves, so that seems about right. Okay, I'm going to close that and then flip this up. Okay, and now this is the part where we're going to do any rearranging that we want to do, any shaping. So we're going to look at our little leaf here and decide if there's any parts that we want to change, which I'm thinking it looks pretty good. The holly leaves, they're not symmetrical. They're not nice and neat. So I'm totally cool with that. Okay, Megan, thank you for saying that. They used to be called filigree wrapping pliers on the Vintage site. And so they might have them still there. Or just look at the one that has 3/8 of an inch bale, and you'll be fine. Okay, now let's get this wrapped at the top here. So I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, and we're going to wrap this down. Make a little loop there. Oh wait, no, that's for if we were going to do a pin. Sorry, forget that. We're going to leave that long. Whew. Okay, almost messed up. Okay, we'll use this one to bend over the wire, to wrap over the wire. So I'm going to turn that one angled towards my wire here. And I'm going to make this just a little more curved. It got a little flattened there. And I want it to have that curve. Okay. Now you're going to hold on to both of the wires here really tightly where they meet. And then you're going to start wrapping around. And you want these wraps to be as tight as you can, because this is what's going to hold your little bail in place. And I'm going to do 3 or 4. Actually, didn't like that space right there, so I'm going to fix that. Okay, that's looking good. I'm going to cut that off in the back. And then I'm going to pinch the last bit of wire really tightly so that I know that that long wire is not going to move at all. You don't want any movement at this point right here. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button. Okay, now the loop at the top, really simple. We're just going to make a wrap loop for a bail. I'm leaving it's the first wrap that I make is going to be on above the ones that are already there. So there's going to be one on the top. Okay, I'm going to wrap around 3 times over the bottom wraps to get my little thicker, messy wrap that you guys know I'm all about. Make sure you have that little tail tucked in there so you're not catching on any of your clothing when you wear it. Okay, there's our cute little leaf, and now we're going to hammer. I'm going to put you up a little so I don't hammer on your head. Okay, and when I hammer, I'm going to hammer over the whole thing, but I am going to focus a little bit more on the curves. Ball peen hammer with a flat surface, steel bench block. I'm going to flip it over. Now, when you hammer it, it's going to curve a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. It just curves just very slightly. So when I do my last hammering, I want to make sure that I'm hammering on the back. And we know it's the back because the wire ends in the back. And I'm going to flip it over, and this is going to be my last hammering on the back. And so it has just a slight little curve to it. Now it's work hardened, so it's nice and hard. I might want to do a little bit on the top there. And I am going to do the little hoop just because I like the way it looks. Okay, so there is our finished pendant. Now my favorite little thing to do with it is to antique them. And so I'm using liver of sulfur extended life gel. And I have that in a little pill bottle as my on-the-go container. And I'm going to take put a few drops in here before the show. This is warm water, so it works a little bit quicker if the water's warm. And I'm going to make a little hook with the wire to put that on there. And then I'm going to let this set for a few minutes. making sure it gets all over. And it's going to darken. Might need to add another drop in there. Yeah, I think I'll add another drop to speed it up. Oh, you know what? I had my containers backwards. It doesn't work if you put it in clean water, you guys. Just FYI. Just, so you know. Okay, this is the liver of sulfur. That is such a Heather thing to do. Okay, you can see it's already starting to darken, so. I was like, why isn't this working? Okay. So the liver of sulfur, it just neutralizes in fresh water. So that's what I have in the other little container that we're going to switch this over to. Opening one-handed with a safety lock there. Okay. I'm going to just close this up. Okay. Blue lid for liver of sulfur. White lid for my clean water. Just helps me keep things on track here. Okay, I'm going to pull this out and dry it off. Just with a paper towel, nothing big. I'm going to close this up real quick so I don't accidentally spill it. Because, ooh, I could see me doing that. Hi, Linda. Nice to have you here. Hi, Stacy, Denise, Kathy. Okay, last step on this is a little bit of steel wool to bring out some of those highlights on the copper metal. And I'm just going to lightly brush this over, brushing a little bit more on the edges than anywhere else. On the bail, just where things would naturally have more wear over time, because that's what we're emulating here. Okay, so there is our beautiful copper holly leaf. All right, let me show you guys how to do the scarf pin. I don't know why I keep saying pen. Scarf pin variation, which is this one, which just has a little bit of extra wire on the back that we're going to use. And I'm going to be using the 18 gauge twisted wire. Lynn, probably, it must have had something to do with medicine back in the day, right? Okay, so this is going to be, let's do, I want it to be a little bit long. Let's do 18 inches is what I did before. So I'm going to cut 18 inches of the 18 gauge wire. And hi, Lynn. It's nice to see your face there. Okay. Oh, yes. Natalie, you can totally use a jig to make this. If that's what works best for you, go for it. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is bend this over. So we're doing exactly the same little leaf. So I'm going to show you guys again how to do this little leaf. I want to get this nice and tight on here. Close nice and tight. Okay, that's probably as close as I'm going to get. The 18 gauge wire, because it's twisted, it has a little bit more body to it, so it doesn't bend quite as easily as the plain 18 gauge copper. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Going to hold on to the bottom and roll this around the bail pliers. bail making pliers, I guess it's called. I'm going to turn it over. So I flip it over each time to make it easier on myself. And I'm like fighting with wire underneath the camera. It's not easy. Okay. So there's our first little marks, and now we're going to imagine a straight little line across from here, and we're going to have our first little lobe is going to be a little bit smaller than the bottom one, so it doesn't go past the length of the bottom part. I'm going to close this up. And pinching that nice and tight. And then I'm just going to pull that up so it's out of the way. Turn it over. Oh, no, I had it turned over. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. Looks a little easier to pinch it with your finger first and then pinch it with the wire. Turn this up. So we're going to do one small one and then two larger ones are next. So we're going to make the curve. Put this up just a little. I'm fighting with it too much. Okay. There we go. And now we're going to make this one a little bit longer than the one we just made. So these next little lobes are going to be bigger than the first one that we did. Okay, now we're going to flip that over. Kind of moving it around a little to shape it as I go along. Okay, so this one's going to be bigger than the first one. So we're going past where this one is. We're going to start it about right past my pliers here. Oop, there you go. You can see that. It's a little easier to bend it first with your fingers and then pinch it closed all the way with the pliers. Okay, and we're going to turn that up, and we'll do the next row. So I'm going to be bending this over the bail making pliers to make the little half circle. You could also use a pencil, as I said before. Oops, sorry, my wire's scraping on the bottom of my stand here. Okay, now the next ones are going to be just about the same size as the previous one that we did. Okay. Turning that over. And repeating. I will take a picture of this for you guys when I'm done here, a nice flat picture that you guys can print out and shape right to the picture if you want, if that helps. Okay, so now we're going to be doing smaller ones at the top here. So this is going to be smaller than the last one that we did. Making sure I pinch that end as tight as I can. And then I'm going to pull this up so that it's out of the way. Turn my leaf over, and now we're going to make the little half circle on this side with our bail pliers. And I'm going to do a smaller leaf on the top here. Okay, I'm going to pinch it with my fingers first and then close that up a little bit more with the pliers. And these are the chain nose pliers. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is 18 gauge twisted wire. Okay, and here we have the shape of our second leaf. I'm going to pull those two up just a little bit. And looking at the shape, I'm digging it. I'm not going to move anything around or change it. I like what we got going here. So I'm going to take, it doesn't matter which wire you do this to, either one is fine at this point. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and bend down, and this is going to make the bail, but also the part of the pin that hooks onto the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to close that up. And now we're going to take this side and I'll be able to move that around a little bit in a minute, but I just want to take this side and get it wrapped around. So I'm going to bend it at an angle where I know I want to start my wrap. And then I'm going to hold on to the leaf on both sides. And now we're going to wrap around nice and tight. And then I'm going to straighten this up just a little bit. It's a little messy. Okay, and I think I'm going to leave it just like that. You want to make sure there's no movement there. So I'm going to need to tighten up these little ends a lot. And we're going to cut off the wire back there. And I want to make sure that these aren't going to move anywhere so that that's nice and tight on there. Okay, now I'm going to straighten this out just a little bit so that the bail is straight above the pin. And now I'm going to curve this, well, not curve, I'm going to bend that up so it's straight up so that I can hammer the leaf and that little part is going to be out of the way. So let me move you up just a little bit. Booby trapped around here. Okay, now we're going to hammer the leaf just like we did with the other one. Except I'm not going to hammer it as flat because it's already pretty strong. When we hammer, it's called work hardening, and it's to make the wire less malleable so the design doesn't move around when you're wearing it. Just giving it a light tap. And you want to turn it over one more time because you want to do your last hammering on the back side. Okay, now we're going to bend this guy back down. And we're going to cut it long enough so that it will go through the front here, but you don't want it to be too long that it's going to be stabbing someone when you wear this. So I'm going to put it through and then trim it just a little bit. I definitely don't want it to be that far out. That should be good. And now you can file the bottom, or if you have one of these little ear wire cup files, you can use that on the end here. And you just put that in the little cup and twist around. This is what you would use if you were making your own wire earrings. This smooths out the end. And so this wouldn't be going through like fine fabric. This is going through knits. So big chunky knits, sweaters or scarves. So it's not sharp in the end. So there is our scarf variation, and you'll just pull that out and pull it back in to tighten it up. Cute, right? Let me show you on my sweater here. So that's what it will look like on a knit, and we're going to add some little doodads to it to make it look a little fancier than just a plain wire. So let me gather up my pieces here, and let's do some decorating for the holidays. As we're ought to do. I'm going to start with one of my little white birds. We're going to do this above here. I'm going to grab a wire jump ring. It's the same twisted little bit, because you know how I feel about wire jump rings, you guys. Okay, I'm going to grab an O bead. To put on the top of my bird and the bottom. And I'm just going to use the leftovers from when I made the wire piece. This is the piece that I cut off from this one. So you probably only needed 14 inches, 15 inches. But if you have the little extra, you can use it for your necklace portion here. So let's get this. I'm going to do just a simple loop oval. I don't know why I said that. Okay, simple loop. I'm going to put on my pendant. It's a little O-ring spacer. And my bird. And now we're going to want the top loop to be going front to back so that it will grab onto our jump ring correctly. So I'm going to bend that forward and then do the little loop. Little loop is crooked. Let's fix that up. Perfect. And now let's get some little berries on the bottom, because what's a holly leaf without some berries, right? So I'm going to use these little tiny 6mm faceted melons that I have in this beautiful cranberry color. Any red bead will do for your berry. Okay, let me grab some headpins here. Excuse my reach. I like the fancy ball ones. Pamela, I'm glad you made your way back here. Okay, now I'd like on the I'm going to do a little tiny bead cap. I think we're going to see how this looks. Oh, it might be a little too big. Yeah, the intention was there, but it didn't work out. If I had an 8mm bead, that would work out better. So I'm just going to do them on their own. I'm going to do a little cluster of 3 and add them to a jump ring next to my underneath my bird. So let's wrap these really quickly, just doing a regular wrap loop. Okay, so I'm going to wrap around twice and then wrap around 1 or 2 more times to make it that brambly, messy wrap that you guys know I love. Okay, closing the end. Okay, I'm going to repeat 3. You could do 3 or 5. You could do a little cascading cluster if you wanted to do them with jump rings and have like 2 little layers of them cascading down if you wanted to get extra berry-ish. Oh, Heidi, thank you. My nails are always rough because I use the clay so much. So I try, but it's already like scraped and peeled, and it's just nothing you can do when you have the hands of a maker. Okay, last little berry here. My wire went flying. That wasn't good. All right. And I'm going to grab a little 6mm twisted jump ring to attach these to the bird. So even though we have very simple elements, they're all relating to each other. So the twisted wire is a theme going throughout the piece. Okay. I had to find my pliers. Oh my gosh, Monica. I am also obsessed with those check melon beads. The faceted ones in particular are so, so lovely. A new batch I need to get up on the website for you guys, but it's been crazy around here. Okay, so just putting a trio of the little guys on there. Let's see. I think I'll actually hang them on the bail of the leaf. So they'll hang down a little better. They'll hang straight down. So how cute is that? I love it. And then you can add a few beads and chain on the top here. And that's going to be our little design. Now, for the for this guy, we're going to have to hang something. If we want to hang anything, it's going to have to be on the bail here. And so let me find something. Oh, here we go. I'll do a little wobble, and then I have these little tiny snowflakes I've been making. Just as a little stamped snowflake on a little. Can't see that. There we go. So that's my little charm that I'm going to put on the bottom here. Oh, let's see. You know what? I'm going to do green instead of. I'm going to do green and red. Just going for it. Christmas all the way. There's no stopping me. No, I'm just kidding. Such a goof. Okay, I'm going to use 20 gauge wire to do the wrapping, and let me grab my natural brass wire that I am really loving from Vintage. They have a new wire. It's natural brass wire, And it has just like such a rustic, fantastic patina to it. I have a crush on this wire. Is that weird? Maybe. It floats my boat. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little, like about 4 or 5 inches of it. You don't need a whole lot because there's not a whole lot of things going on the bottom here. Just a little bit of humble beads action to make it, a little more special. Okay, we're going to open this up and slide on our charm. And I'm going to do the little wire wrap. So I got these snowflake stamps, and boy, they were hard to do. I was not an expert at it. I will admit that. It took a lot of hammering to get the impression correctly on there. I don't know if I just bought like a stamp that was too cheap and not. I need to experiment with a different brand. Because I was quite disappointed. It was so cute, but so hard to make. And I had Jesse try it, and he was struggling just as much. So I know it wasn't just me, which is always good to know. Okay, I'm going to throw on the little bead first, and then I'm going to do that flower bead cap, and then my design. Let's see. I'm going to put an O bead on the top. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do another double bead cap. It is the holidays after all. Yeah, there we go. 2 bead caps, one on the top, one on the bottom. So when we do the loop for the top, we're going to start the loop, and then we're going to open it up and slip it onto our pin. And let's see, I want it to be on the front of the wire. So I have to make sure it's going to fall correctly. Is that the way I want it to go? Or do I want it to go on the back? No, it's going to have to go on the front. Okay, yeah, so then we wear it, it'll hopefully it doesn't betray me and just flip over. Might have to do something so that it doesn't move around. We'll see. The tricks of designing live. And the things you don't see behind the camera. How many different variations it took for me to get this design. Okay, let's see, did I do that right? Yeah. Okay, but I do need to close this somehow so that it's not moving around. And so I have an idea. Let's finish the wire here. Because we don't want this to be showing the back of a blank snowflake. That's not very festive. So I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to squeeze the top of the loop so that it's going to catch that little guy. Ooh, that made it too tight. Oh, you know what? That's perfect. I'm just going to leave him like that. So now here's my little guy, and I would hang it on my, I'd probably hang it like this, on my scarf, holding my scarf, or on a sweater. And it's just a little bit of festiveness as a dangle on the bottom. If you had a little snowflake charm, you can put a snowflake charm, like one of my polymer clay ones. So there's my 2 variations. What do you guys think? Sweet and easy, right? That's what we like, sweet and easy. Chris. I'm glad you're here. So we're going to do a $30 gift certificate drawing in just a second. It's going to be, one second, I gotta, okay. Hashtag nest. That is going to enter you into the drawing. And why nest? I'm going to tell you about it in just 1 second. Hi, Clem. Nice to see you here. Okay, so while you guys are adding hashtag nest in for the drawing, let me tell you about what I have going on that's going to be starting in January. For those of you that heard about my creative circle that I did over the past year, it's a monthly workshop where we get together and make a piece of jewelry inspired by the season and also focusing on jewelry making as self-care. We have a 2.5-hour live video class where I work on a project with you guys. It varies each month. So for January, we're going to do a bead embroidery. And then the next month, we're going to do polymer clay. And then in February, we're going to pull out the wire and play with wire. And these are all projects that encourage you to use the beads that you have on hand and to use up some of that bead stash that you have. And along with the class and all the inspiration that I give you, I also create a journal for you guys each month with journal prompts, and it's really beautiful. It makes my soul happy and I love to do it, and it helps you think about your jewelry making process in a little bit of a deeper way and something that connects to you, to your heart and soul, and not just pretty beads but the meaning behind why you're making jewelry. Monica, I'm so excited that you've already signed up too. So over the Black Friday through Cyber Monday, I don't like the crazy sale, so I just did a little gift for you guys. And what I did was 30% off the Creative Nest or the individual past quarters that we did, so winter, spring, summer, fall. Or I have a big bundle of 2025 at 50% off where you can sign up for all of the previous replays, and that's at 50% off. And so I'm going to extend this one more day. Today's the last day that we're going to have this sale up. So if you're interested in that, yes, make sure it's all caps, guys. So it's capital NEST for that. It won't count it if it's not a capital. You can sign up on my website. You'll just go to my website and click on the Creative Circle, which the new name for 2026 is going to be the Creative Nest, and you'll be able to sign up. Oh, also, it's the first listing. If you just go to the website, you'll see the next 2026. It's going to start the last weekend of January, and it's going to be the last Monday of each month. And then, of course, you can watch the replays at any time. So, Susan, you're just going to nest right in the comment. You're just going to put hashtag capital N, capital E, capital S, capital T, and that will enter you in the drawing. Cheryl, I don't think it matters how many times you enter. It only collects you one time. Yeah, so you're fine. Not to worry if you got some fast little hands there. All right, guys. So let's I'm going to give you guys just another minute or two here. And if you have any questions about the Creative Nest, feel free to email me. My email is humblebeads@gmail.com. Okay, so let's do our drawing. Oh my goodness, kitty. All right, ready to share this part. Hi. Can you guys hear my little cat? She's begging for attention. Okay, so I'm going to draw now. Congratulations. I mean, good luck, everybody. Congratulations. My brain. Kathy, you won. Oh, I'm so excited for you. So Kathy, email me at Humble Beads. I'm going to put it in the comments so that you can see. If you don't email me, I'll just forget, you guys. I wish I was not that way, but out of sight, out of mind for us neurodivergent brains. It just happens. Okay. Let me say goodbye to you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing our Christmas tree today, so I'm excited about that. We're working on orders for you guys. I know you guys were busy shopping over the weekend. Thank you, and I will be sending out those links this evening for all of you that have already signed up. All right, guys, take care, and I will talk to you soon. Next week I'll be back with another project, more winter focused, not so much one holiday. So it's really important that I'm inclusive here for you guys. So this is my next project will be celebrating winter in general, because you guys know how much I love to create for the seasons in particular. All right, guys, talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye. Thanks for joining me.